I'm a fat kid. I know the route of this, but I don't speedrun this game. I speedrun another Mega Man platform.
And then Jokaah is going to be the runner, although he will not be commentating or speaking. But yes, we will update the follow link for all you guys running Frank Base C.
Robot roll call. Dude, nice.
Alright, and so Jokaah, you can go ahead and hit new game whenever you want, and I will start the timer.
Timer actually starts when the first text box comes on screen, so
Okay.
I'll yell it out. But I guess it really doesn't matter at this point. We know that there's an intro cutscene that's unskippable, but it's exactly the same amount of time every time. So if we really care about the time at the end, we can just subtract minute 17, and it's fine.
Okay, good luck, Jokaah. So this is just a cutscene retelling the events of the first game, which looks nothing like what actually happened in the first game.
Close enough.
This is on GameCube.
Fun fact: all the voice acting that's going on, it's the same voice actors that are in the that do the Japanese voices for the anime. So that's fun.
To my knowledge, in every BN game that's voice acted, they always got the anime actors, and they're always consistent through all the games. I know this is canon. This is canon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's M canon.
So, for reference, yeah, this is very end of BN1, and then a month passes, and then this game starts. So, and it's really clear about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Timer started about 5 seconds early.
Yeah, it's fine. Can't spell schedule to save my own ass.
This is on GameCube.
Yeah. The only one on GameCube. It's a bit sad, but whatever. So basically, Roll got lost right now, and then Lan is gonna go find Roll. And then, because it always starts out so like, oh no, what could possibly go wrong? This game shares a lot of similarities with the the Game Boy Advance ones and all that, but with a few very, very big differences.
You may have noticed one already. Kind of,
Yeah.
And aside
So you have your folder with 30 chips in it as usual, and you can reg a chip as usual. But there are no codes in this game. You can pick all 5 chips that you draw each time. As you notice, the custom gauge is filling incredibly slowly, which is, yeah, that's a thing. But instead of each chip being a single use, they essentially have ammunition counters. Every time you pick up a chip of the same type, you increase its maximum ammo by 1 and get 1 ammo. And whenever you jack out and jack back in, your ammo is filled to full.
I mean, I actually agree with that statement.
So you notice on the bottom left there's the numbers above each chip. You hit RL to cycle between the chips, and then that's the amount of ammo they have on top. On the top left, the orange or the yellow bar is your life, and then the green bar is essentially mana. Each chip uses up a certain amount of it, equal to its megabyte cost. So that's what limits you from just emptying all your chips. This first part is pretty simple. It's just jumping and dodging over things.
I don't even remember you supposed to die.
No.
Oh.
Dying this first part's pretty bad.
Oh dear. That's unfortunate. I thought you were supposed to pick up the gold one.
What he picked up right there was a backup chip. It's essentially an extra life. It increases your max extra lives by 1. The number below the health bar and mana bar is right there. It's a maximum of, I believe there's like HP mems and MB mems and all that. You can get a maximum of 1,000 life and 256 mana and 9 backups. So dying in this first part's not great.
This game isn't laggy. What? But yeah. Sorry, carry on.
So the problem with dying in this first part is, there's a quote-unquote tutorial at the start. Yeah, it's alright. Jokaah's gonna restart, because, yeah. Okay, so there's a quote-unquote tutorial at the start. You're guaranteed, the first 3 chips you draw are guaranteed to always be the same. Cannon, V-gun, and shotgun. Wait. Why am I blanking on the third one? It is shotgun, right? We just saw it. Anyway, the first 3 chips are always guaranteed to be the same thing. And we basically, those power in this game, like powerful chips in this game, aren't really that great because of low ammo counts. You want as much ammo as possible. So stuff like cannons, shotguns, and stuff like that are much, much more useful than M cannons because you just have more ammo.
And I just realized in the roll call we didn't really introduce Jokaah.
No, Cheese did.
Oh, yeah, kind of. But Jokaah's the world record holder in this game.
Yeah.
No.
Jokaah kinda picked up the game and utterly annihilated it, so...
He is mainly a Mega Man Classic runner, and he's very good at platformers. I realized that start was unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. But yeah, he's incredibly good at this game. Better than anyone else who's run it so far.
Also of note, this game is really punishing of mistakes. Like, there's a few bits that if you die, you pretty much have to restart the whole stage. Like, it's pretty brutal. And then there's a boss much later in the game that can just kill you if he decides to. Like, we've worked out ways to make it less likely it just kills you, but it's not perfect at all.
It's not easy. Not too much easy run. It's a pretty difficult run.
It's fun though. I like it.
It is fun.
It's good
Fun
music. Gameplay's fun. Jump and shoot, man.
Good atmosphere, kind of.
Oh, by the way, the chip he regs right off the bat is the sword chip, which becomes relevant when he gets to the first boss. There's a lot of ways that you can manipulate the bosses to do what you want them to do, because some of their attacks are based on proximity and whatnot. Right, it's the reg overlaps the first one, right? Anyway, for the first bit here, he gets cannon and gun, which is basically all he'll need to do the full thing. He got bubbler, which used to be what we did or we wanted for this first bit, but we realized sword is just better.
I don't know, man. Roll does this stuff just in BCC.
Yeah, like
Really
in
OP
the
in
end,
BCC.
yeah, in the BCC she's actually phenomenal. And I think I remember from the anime, she's like, has really good hacking abilities.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
And at the end of the game, she has probably the most powerful thing any Navi can do.
Yeah. Well, you'll see that later.
Yeah. So, roll's just fine.
What was you gonna say? Oh, going for the zero save then. And base fight. I don't know about the incentives, but I don't think so. And I know we're going for bad ending.
So,
But
yeah, there's a quote-unquote bad ending. There's one item that if you take like a 1-minute detour about halfway through the game, you can pick it up, and then you can get the quote-unquote good ending. It doesn't change. It gives you one Navi chip, and then changes the ending. But really, it doesn't do much for the run at all. For the first little while, we just did the good ending because we could, and then we at some point decided not to. It's really kind of irrelevant.
Because it's only a 1-minute difference. There's not really a reason to put it in 2 separate categories. So we just decided, though, if you do the good ending, then fine, you can do that, but it will be the same category.
If, say, you wanted to go for like a quote-unquote 100%, because 100%'s a little bit weird in this game for reasons, but there's a HP mem down there, so...
Yeah, you do need to do the good ending for 100% because you can't get Zero's chip without doing the good ending.
So, plot-wise, we found Roll, and then Roll was like, I can't get home, the net is literally on fire, as you can see here.
And Mega Man was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Roll also gives you the first armor in the game. You can get 4 armors, they're like one of each of the elements. They half the damage you take from that element. But, unfortunately, nothing else. So they give you the fire armor for the fire stage, and I was like, oh, use it. So yeah. And then, as you saw before, the boss running around, the first boss of the game is Fireman or Torchman. It's obviously Torchman, by the way, just saying. It's anime. What we used to do for this was use Bubbler, because double damage against fire, so we could like knock him down to really low life. But what we realized is you could do this with swords. So he's got that little like flame shield he throws up about himself. It's based on proximity to him. So if you're close enough, he will do it almost all the time. If he doesn't, he does the flame arm and you just take damage, but it's fine. So you can just make him do an attack that can't hit you because you're not close enough to take damage from the flame shield, and you just sword him until he's dead. Which makes the boss, like, that boss will just it'll kick the stuffing out of you the first time you play this, because he's actually going to he can kill you in, like, 3 hits without the armor and 5 hits with the armor. But we just make it laughably easy. But that's not the worst thing we do to a boss, that's later. And that's gonna be good. It's really, that one's just cracks me up every time. Right, so, plot-wise, one of the emails right at the start said something about a Zero virus messing with things, and that there was no known vaccine. But Dex here said, no, I got a vaccine, it's fine. And he uses it because he's an idiot. So, while that's happening, Mega Man and Lan are going off to find, like, whoever's, like, trying to find information about the Zero virus and these vaccines that are going around. So they're just heading out into the deeper reaches of the net to find people, essentially. Hope they'll just run into something.
This man is another, like, pretty difficult fight for like casual players that just
the first half of this game is difficult, to say the least. You take so much damage from a lot of things early on.
Yeah, like the way I'd usually play Mega Man games at least is I just damage boost for a lot of things, but in this game that's not survivable because your health just drains incredibly fast, especially against bosses.
Glide
is in this, but you can't fight it.
Yeah, Glide is like mentioned once. He doesn't even have a sprite. He's just mentioned once.
Just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yai is in this.
Yeah. Yai does a thing once. It's not great.
Yeah, Yai gets in trouble.
Right, so by pure blind luck, they run into this guy who's Starman, who is new to this game. He's pretty cool. But then he offers us a vaccine, and then we're just like, haha, we got you, vaccine salesman, and then he goes nuts, and then drops this thing and runs away. So, but he escapes, and then we run into Numberman, who's down here also for some reason. Numberman being a shopkeeper, just in place of the random nabbies that you'd see in the other ones. So we ask him if he's seen Starman, he's just like, nope. So we're like, well, what do we do? We get an email from Dex saying that Gutsman's gone insane because the fake vaccine has essentially mind-controlled him, and he's just running around wrecking shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, the person who asked, the world record is 57.55.
Yeah. For the longest time, getting under an hour was like a miracle thing, and then Jokaah showed up.
Yeah, Jane Bang was the first person to get sub-hour, I believe.
Oh yeah, he did. He got just under it.
Yeah, just under it by like a second.
Yeah, it was amazing, and then Jokaah broke that, which is amazing.
And as is usual with the endgame, Starman is originally from a Mega Man Classic game.
This game has a couple of nabbies unique to it.
Yeah.
Starman, it's got...
Starman kind of is, but Starman is also...
Well, I mean, so here's the Gutsman fight. Gutsman can two-shot you, essentially, at this point.
Yeah.
If you haven't been picking up, a lot of... if you've picked up all of the available HP mems, he can, three-shot you, maybe. But he does an incredible amount of damage.
Maybe never uploaded leaderboards. Maybe I was wrong.
But thankfully, the iframes he gets from you hitting him interrupts his attacks, so you can just combo him.
Also, just saying, if people think that this game is the worst Mega Man ever, just wait till the next one. And I'd also like to add, I don't think if you've actually played this game, this is really not bad. The graphics aren't that great, but this game is very good. I think this game is very good.
I like this game a lot.
I've played all of the classic and X games, and I say this one's definitely good.
So essentially, plot at this point, the vaccine that he was selling has gotten to a lot of nabbies at this point. So there's a whole bunch of nabbies going nuts. So this is the first split path of the game. He's got 4 different bosses he can go fight now. We're going to start with the Bank Comps and Quickman, because Quickman, you can't really cheese Quickman in any way. And we need the Zenny from winning his fight for something else in the next part. But Quickman is probably one of my favorite bosses in the game, because you can't cheese it really hard. You basically have to fight him straight up.
Well, you can kind of get him into an AI loop, but even that AI loop...
Well, he kind of just does the same thing over and over. It's not really a loop, because I don't know if there's a way to make him do it. He kind of just does it.
He's one of those bosses where if you do the same thing, he'll do the same thing every time.
Don't mind the stuttering. They're trying to sort it out. We got tech people, tech person. So this is Quickman's stage. A lot of the stages in this game, the ones where it's got the classic nabbies in it, they're pretty big callouts to where they originally showed up. Like in Fireman stage, it had okay, he was going for the backup. That death is fine. That's not actually a problem. Provided he doesn't game over, but... like in this one, like in Quickman stage, you've got the quick lasers you saw at the start there, that they will one-shot you, straight up.
Yeah, Yeah, very similar to the Quick Man stage in Mega Man 2. The way they act. Obviously, the layout's pretty different.
It is of note that the spikes are not instant kills. The spikes do 200 damage.
Yeah,
which
instant kill at the start of the game.
Yeah.
You can survive it later.
Yeah. So this part will kill you 100,000 times your first playing? It just will? I'm sorry?
Also, I'd like to add how evil it is that like health right up to a massive hitbox with the teleporter. Cool.
So this is going to be a little bit interesting. So basically what Quick Man does is he either does a hop or a dash. You can, under almost every single boss, you can slide under them and you're fine.
But not that one.
Well, no, Quick Man can. Like when he does, to beat this, a really safe way to beat this guy is to always dash every time he does an action and then respond to it. Because you will always dodge his attacks if you're dashing.
The unfortunate, thing is your buster at this point in the game is actually useless.
Which is, fortunately later in the game, your buster becomes broken, insane, awesome, but... It basically, in the speedrun, it's going to be a complete waste of your time until you get to the halfway point, at which point you're going to rely on it for basically the entire thing. Yes, you can do programming. There are 14 program advances in total. Unfortunately, 2 of them are good.
If you ever get the chance to do program advances, just use Gunju. You will never regret it. Not because it's good, just watch the anime.
Yeah, the animations for them are really good. The problem is, it goes back to the ammunition counts are better than just raw power. The program advances use 3 chips in order to give you a one shot of one chip, but so essentially you're converting 20 or 30 chips into one attack, and you're just much better having the 30 chips than actually doing the attack.
Yeah. Although there are different program advances that let you use multiple chips at the time, and that was used in this run, I think. I think Jokaah's gonna go for the Zeta Cannon at the end. Yeah, there's a roll one called Big Heart. It's a full restore plus damage. It's 300 damage plus full restore. Same. Even the damage values are identical, I believe.
Yeah. Alright, so this fight's going much better. This is how the fights we normally plan to go. Another thing you can do is fire a buster shot at him, because when he guards he'll automatically guard any attacks you do to him if he's not attacking. So if you use a buster shot, he'll guard, stop moving, then do an attack, and then you can unload on him with a chip.
Poison, I don't know how you can think he says pizza except the chip again. I don't think I hear that.
Now that Quick Man is down, we have a pretty sizable amount of money. So we're going to go buy an unlocker and then a whole bunch of heapy. Because the heapies are important for the next boss, who is Needleman, and the garden comps. So this is where Yai shows up because it's his or her house, and apparently all her lawn mowing equipment went nuts, or something.
I think it's because of the Zero virus as well.
Yeah.
A gardener came around, and his net navi was Needleman, and then his net navi kind of went a bit crazy. And I think this is the only place where Needleman appears in the BN series.
Yep.
Needleman being the Mega Man Classic boss master for Rocky Robot Master for BN 3. It was 3, right? Yeah, probably.
think it was the same one as Gemini Man.
Yeah, that was free.
Yeah, if nothing else, go listen to the OST for this.
Yeah, the OST for this game is absolutely
Super good.
fantastic. It's so like, you know, upbeat and feel happy music, but if you're into that thing, then you'll love this. I mean, I'm kind of not, but I still like
Those
it.
tree bombs will knock you for 2/3 of your life. Just saying.
Yeah, those tree bombs are
Just,
no
it's
joke.
safe to assume that everything will chop off like at least half your life.
Yeah,
just will.
everything just does an insane amount of damage.
And then this is shoutouts to Needleman stage with the downward spikes. He was picking up tree bomb chips, which will become important later.
I don't have the anime intro. The anime intro is awful.
Oh, he's going for the jump. Okay. I hate this jump. I hate this jump so much.
Do you?
So, funny thing, you can jump from ledges like that to the ledge above by standing directly on the edge then jumping. You have just enough room in order to make the jump.
If you slide, it gives you more room.
If you mess it up, you just bonk your head and you die. And then you have to restart this whole section all over again. And it's basically a reset.
It makes me nervous doing that casually, but I've never messed it up yet. So.
I've messed it up, and it hurts. So Needleman here hurts. You can take 3 hits from him.
I think
but,
the commentary is behind the footage. What does that even mean?
Well, we're watching on delay, so it will be.
Oh, right. I get it what you mean now.
Yeah. It just
Sorry,
will
I was
be.
taking it a bit too literally.
So, that was an excellent fight. When Needleman hits critical HP, he'll do the jump in the air and then shoot spikes. You just have to stand below him. So, that's actually a really easy tech dodge. The other attacks, when he fires the spikes forward, you have to basically do a perfect slide underneath or you take damage. You can also just jump over it. And then the 4-way jump in the air spikes are, if he's in the wrong position, they're almost undodgeable.
Credit to Jokaah for still doing this. He's running a fever, so he can't say, but he's still doing the run anyway.
He's running a fever and playing this, which he hasn't done in a while.
Yeah. So we definitely appreciate it.
He's a braver man than I am.
Yeah. Because otherwise, if it wasn't for Jokaah, I don't think this would have been in the marathon at all.
Yeah, I unfortunately can't stream this anymore because card issues.
I'm fat
Right,
kid.
so this is the best part of the run. Although he made a bit of a mistake there. So those penguins don't show up anywhere else in the game. They only show up in, like, this stage. Basically right here. There's, like, I think 1 or 2 of them elsewhere. But they drop probably the best chip in the game. Which is, double jump. You use the chip and it gets you 1 additional jump in the air. It costs a lot of mana, a lot of MP, but it lets us skip huge parts of stages.
Yeah, naturally. Having a double jump in a Mega Man game kind of lets you say, screw the rules.
Yup. Intentional damage boost to the polar bear there. Fun fact, you can't take a hit.
So much damage.
Yeah, I think it's 100?
Yeah, it's half the health, so...
If I remember correctly, the route after leaving the splitway here has you at 160 HP. Anyway, so this is the water comps. They say it's the exact same place as you fight Iceman the first time. So you're running around the same area, and Iceman is running around doing stuff.
For some reason, there's like a billion snowmen in the background that somebody's doing.
Well, Iceman, yo.
I can just assume Iceman just went around making all of these snowmen while waiting for you.
Oh man, is Jokaah gonna go first? No, Jokaah's just doing the other way. So here's the yokai blocks, is what they're called. The disappearing, reappearing blocks. So there's 2 things you can do there. You can either use the double jump from earlier, or there's an interesting interaction with repair, which, yes, repair is in this game. What it does is it fixes, it like makes blocks that disappear, it puts them back on screen, but that also includes the disappearing, reappearing blocks and forces them on screen for like 20 seconds. So you can skip that.
This is more, this is much more of a classic cross BN than it is X cross BN. It doesn't really have any of the features from X series, like, you know, dashing, wall climbing.
Sliding, yeah.
So
this boss is terrible. This mini boss is just bad.
Iceman. I don't remember much about Iceman. He just runs back and forth, doesn't he?
Iceman's got a couple of attacks. But I just wanna, that mini boss there it's just a pufferfish that breaks into smaller and smaller and smaller pufferfish. There's a very good chance that the pufferfish will actually just go into a pattern that like trap you in a corner and then you just die. That boost is intentional. When you die and respawn, your MP is refilled to full, and you get to open up your Navicust again. So by doing that, he guarantees he'll be able to do this coming up boost and have the MP to do what he needs to do versus Iceman. Which is, he got 3 Elect Blades in between, just before he came in here, so he's just gonna wreck him with Elect Blades, hopefully. Iceman here, he has a projectile attack. He shoots forward. He summons an ice block and pushes it at you, or he does he does freeze bomb, which we did not see. Freeze bomb essentially throws out 6 projectiles in the air. They come down and then have spikes come up when they hit the ground. So you have to stand where they don't hit. At this point, the ice spikes will just kill you.
So that entire level went incredibly well.
Yeah, that was real nice.
It was gold, according to Jokaah. Gold split.
Alright, now we enter the last boss in this bit. The arcade comps are next. But this is the shopping comps, right?
I don't know. The background for this one is really weird.
Yeah. This is not Higsby. We are not fighting Number Man, sadly. Which is,
unfortunately. I wish we were.
Wow, he doesn't even. Okay. So that's. Yeah, so he's just skipping this whole bit through platforming.
Probably, Bobby.
Basically, there was, I forget, I don't think they actually mentioned the who actually operates the Navi here, but this is Brightman coming up, and bad things are going to happen to Brightman.
Recall, he says he doesn't have an operator.
I know Starman definitely doesn't have one because it's a plot point that he doesn't have one.
Maybe Brightman doesn't have an operator, I don't remember.
So, real quick stage. Nothing really that exciting. But bad things are about to happen to Brightman, hopefully.
Very bad things.
A lot of this game, it looks really good until you mess up and then everything goes bad.
Yeah. Like that strat there, it's not necessarily hard, but if you mess that strat up, it can be hard to recover it.
Yeah,
it's pretty tough.
Brightman's mechanic is that whenever you do an attack, he throws up a guard, blocks it, and then fires an attack back at you. Which makes it really difficult to actually kill him if you're playing fair, because he'll just block everything and you have to dodge a bullet hell laser nonsense.
Theme. That's a common theme that I actually kind of dislike. A lot of the bosses just block all of the attacks you do.
Well, this guy doesn't actually attack. He just waits for you to attack. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But I forget who figured this out. But what we figured out is you fire a projectile overhead, so he throws up the guard. But when he has the guard up, he won't. And then if you attack again while he has the guard up, it won't like reset the counter. So you jump over his head, fire a shot, make him guard. Then you throw a tree bomb, so it hits him just as he's dropping his guard. He flinches, takes the damage, and while he's flinching, he can't throw his guard back up again. So you throw another tree bomb. It falls inside his hitbox while his iframes are up. Then as soon as it hits him, does damage, he flinches again, and you just repeat the process until he's dead.
Yeah, shoutouts for BLK Yoshi for that.
Oh, yeah, it was Black Yoshi. That made, yeah. That's...
There are blind runners? No blind runners too. Only one person ran OS at SCA, and that's Chaotic MK, who is not good enough to run into Marathon.
So
plus
now we enter...
It's not worth it, because it's just the same thing, but yeah, carry on there. Yes, sorry.
Now we enter the second split. This one's only a split of 2 bosses. The first one we're going to do is the arcade comps and Color Man. This comp's pretty sweet. Music's great. This first bit, we have to get 2 parts of a key data to open up a thing. So it's just a bit of platforming one way and a bit of platforming the other way. But this is the first part of the game where we're going to see how busted double jump is. Like, as you saw there, he was just able to jump up at the start, which skips a whole, like, up and around thing he has to do otherwise.
Well, but this is where it starts to get a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what those enemies on poles are all about. They're weird.
It's fine.
They scare me.
I believe they drop HP recovs and cannonballs, I want to say. I don't actually remember.
It feels like they did that with a lot of like enemies. A lot of them drop recovs, like invis, guys, cookies, whatever.
So, this thing's a pinball machine. It's fun. There's like stuff hidden in the upper reaches there we don't go see. And then if you go to the top right there, there's a slot machine where you can get random chips for Zenny. But pretty sweet stage. And now we get to Color Man, who is probably my least favorite boss in the game because there's...
He has the most health out of, like,
I said before, there's no, like, I like Quick Man because there's no real way to cheese him. You have to fight fair. Color Man, you also have to fight fair, but Color Man has a bajillion HP.
And his attacks do a bajillion damage.
Yeah, you just don't really have a good way of fighting him. So you kind of just have to not get hit and hit him.
The complete opposite of the fight in Wonderswan, because he does the same thing every time, and he's really easy to avoid.
Oh, yeah, Jokaah is skipping the cutscenes, but there's a short cutscene that introduces all the bosses, where they just, like, show things.
Yeah, I didn't like it, because it just seemed really weird, immersion breaking, but, you know.
What? I mean, in the anime, every time they checked in, they're just like, it's me, this guy!
But that's why I don't like the anime. Oh, it's not good for that.
So, now we go on to the second of the two bosses in this part. Yakko Man.
Oh yeah, it's called Yakko Man in the anime.
Or no, Wacko Man.
Wacko Man. Yeah.
No reason.
Wacko.
So this is the power plant comps, and in here there's a Lekman. The funny we actually get an email that's like I forget what it says, but it's basically like come to the power plant or something or other, and then Mega Man's just like we really shouldn't go. This doesn't seem like a good idea. Lan just goes, it's fine. We'll just deal with it.
I mean, he was right.
I think they say it's just like, well, we're looking for stuff with the virus, right? Why don't we just go to the bit where we're pretty sure there's the virus? So double jump gets used a lot more here to skip pretty big parts of platforming. There's like a lot of going back and forth on the stage because essentially this is one giant tower. But we end up skipping a whole bunch of, like here you just jump up and there's a bit where you have to go around and shoot at some things. And then you'll recognize this bit from a Lekman stage in Mega Man 1, right at the start. The stupid jump.
Music also remixed here as well from the Lekman Very cool.
No, it's not. Which I'm mad about. I would really like a remixed version of Lekman's music.
Oh no, I just checked. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
My bad.
I want to jam to some Journey.
They do have some classical remixes, if I recall.
Alright, more skipping. That part is really annoying to do fair, because you essentially have to jump off of ladders, which is not the nicest thing to do in this game.
Or any Mega Man game.
Yeah.
Ever.
You basically have to climb down a ladder, jump off, and then grab onto a shorter ladder twice. But we can just double jump past it. Sadly, no, there is no magnitude. And now for a Lekman, who continues the theme of being able to two-shot you.
And also continuing the theme of being really annoying because he just avoids your first attack.
Yeah, he will automatically counter the first thing you do to damage him, teleport behind you, and then, like, that poke will stun you and then drain your life. So you have to walk away from him. Fortunately, tree bombs are still good. it is pretty funny, like how good tree bombs are in this game, because they do 100 damage, and then 2 of the bosses you can cheese with them are both elect.
Yep. They're really good at BCC as well.
There's a really funny strat you can do with that guy. When you saw when he spawned the thunderclouds in the sky, you can loop him. Basically, when he spawns the thunderclouds, if you hit him immediately there, you can loop him to just spawn thunderclouds like as many times as you want, which is really fast. But like I said, you get 2-shot. So if the patterns are bad, you just die. So basically, after poking around a whole bunch, we figure out where the Zero virus is being housed. It's in this like it's like this decommissioned part of the net that's kind of cut off. In order to get through it, we need to get past 3 doors. Each door blocked essentially by a stage. So we do the stage, kill the boss, we get the key data, and we can move on to the next one. So we do 3 of those in a row. And then we get to the 0 count, where the Zero virus is supposedly held.
Okay, a lot of the game's menuing, not quite as much as the normal BN games, but it has a lot of it. It's probably better than most of the normal BN runners at menuing as well. No, he's better than me.
Right, so Jokaah unlocked a shortcut, so when he jacks in from Lance House, you can jack into immediately to that spot there. So he went in, unlocked the point, and now is backtracking a bit to do painful things to the game. So we said before, the Mega Buster is a complete waste of your time.
Yeah, that changes.
Yeah.
Seriously, this game is one of the biggest, like, just changes to your main weapon I've ever seen.
And it
changes so much.
There's like difficulty spikes. But then this is the opposite, because the first part of this game is really difficult. But Jokaah's been collecting power-ups and then bought a last set from MMBN there to be able to max out his charge and power. So now his charge shot hits for, I think we mathed it out to 80 or 90. No, it's 90. Yeah. But basically, it's a free 90 damage that does not cause iframes because your Buster attacks don't cause iframes.
Yeah. When I played this game first, casually, because the Buster starts out so bad, I just didn't bother using it ever, and actually that leads some harder situations. If you ever play this game, upgrade the Buster.
Yeah. Protoman's here because reasons, and essentially he's just like, I don't need your help. He's an idiot. And then we're just gonna chase after him effectively.
Protoman's still just an idiot. Jord's an idiot. Low Jord.
Since our Buster is so powerful now, we basically don't use chips anymore, apart from a couple of spots, other than double jump. So we can just use all of our MP to double jump wherever we want. Basically. Yeah,
some of the models are okay. It's just more of a mix between like the models and the animations. It does look pretty strange.
I think it's strange witch for Wonderstorm.
Well,
yeah, Old Area has some good music.
I actually really like the Wonderstorm.
So now for the scariest sets of jumps in the game.
As you saw, they can go very badly.
Yeah. I almost think you should just check out and restart it, because... Yeah.
It's fine, I believe.
So, essentially, at the end of the stage, there's a bunch of pillars, like a bunch of thin pillars with enemies on them. The sword enemies you saw there. And then aura viruses, which you'll see in a bit.
That's another annoying habit this game has, just putting like loads of jumps in a row and then enemies in the way of them.
It's really easy to get clipped by an enemy and just fall into the pit, because you get knocked back from your damage, and then, yeah.
Yeah, this is like scarily similar to like old Castlevanias. That was very nice there. That was
Jokaah.
a very nice
Jokaah,
decision.
please. Fortunately, he's only got one double jump here. Oh. God, I hate that part. Alright, so...
Guys, are you watching on MMBN stream too?
Hang on, I'm opening up the other one right now. Kinda got both open.
And that sword man, he's a boss.
Yup. I've actually managed to beat him without him doing a single attack.
So did
Just stood there.
just now, I'm pretty sure.
No, he did one wave slash.
Oh, he did one slash, okay.
So that's an example of why. So Swordman. So there's an interesting thing with the bosses. Whenever you hit them with a chip attack, they'll usually counterattack with something. So like Swordsman there, if you hit him with a chip, he'll flinch, go in invulnerability, and then do either like a wave slash or throw his swords in the air or do stuff. If you hit him with a buster, he doesn't react at all. He just goes through a regular routine, which he has a long pause and then does an attack.
Also,
So
sorry,
you
you just bought a bunch of barriers. Naturally, that's not really too useful in normal BN speedruns because we can dodge everything. But in this game, barrier lets you just walk straight through enemies because it gives you iframes up you get hit. So we're going to be taking advantage of that, obviously. And this is my least favourite stage in the game. It's a cool one, but it's probably the hardest in my opinion. Do you think this is the hardest, Jazz?
I don't know, actually. It is pretty brutal in some spots. The gimmick here is just gravity, because it's strange gravity area. The purple platforms have your jump height, and the yellow platforms don't let you jump at all, essentially. It's like a really, really tiny hop.
I mean, I don't mind the gimmick for this area, but just the enemy layouts, just the way everything works.
Yeah.
In combination, it makes this an insanely difficult area when speedrunning, in my opinion.
Fortunately, you start getting M cannons here. Which,
That is true.
So this is where essentially we use the barriers. Damage boost through a lot of things. And that's that whole end bit there where you can just get clobbered by the B-tanks because their range is incredible. So Gravity Man. When you first fight him, Mega Man goes, or Mega Man's just like, this is a really like low intelligence navi. But essentially he's got a lot of HP and defenses, is what they say.
But you can do that.
Yeah, you can just, there's enough space to stand behind him that you can just shoot him in the back.
I can't help but think the thing they said about him being low intelligence was a clue to just being able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You just wreck him. So now we go to the third fight, or the third stage. Which, I mean, everyone keeps saying this is their favorite music. It's like good, but...
Yeah, that'll actually be one thing.
Alright, so we went through the strange grav area, now we're in the no grav area, which your double height is essentially doubled, and you slow fall everywhere. And of course they jam a whole bunch of spikes in the area with low gravity, because fun. But yeah, this is Starman's stage. Starman's a fun boss, actually. He's pretty good, apart from an attack that's almost impossible to dodge. Plot here. Essentially, Mega Man got infected with the virus because I guess being around other people infected by it, he's just gotten hit by it. So over the past couple stages, he's been just like, oh man, I'm getting weaker and weaker, and there he's just like, oh, well, I guess I can't move on, and then Land's dad fixes it. Because they figured out to actually get a working vaccine at that point, which is nice, because then we can keep going. But we still have to stop the Zero virus, because even though they have the vaccine, the virus will still be going everywhere. This mini-boss, if you try and fight normally, is almost impossible, because you have to shoot a shot directly in the center there to hit the blue. But chips like Shotgun and Vegan and all that essentially pierce. So as long as you hit the boss with them, it'll hit the weak point. Which makes fighting him real easy. Now we get to Starman.
Okay, I'm back.
Starman has essentially 3 attacks. He teleports around to a spot, and then either shoots a 8-way star arrow, does a small meteor storm, or does a large meteor storm.
Starman is one of the most unfair bosses in the game, along with Zero, because he literally has undodgeable attacks.
The large meteor storm, some of them can actually be dodged.
Only with double jumps and like knowledge.
Well, you can hide. You can either, I've been able to dodge them. If it's like at the extreme right or left of the stage, you can just jump over the end of it normally.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he can give impossible patterns.
Yeah, he can give you plenty of impossible patterns that you would just take damage. There's nothing you can do about it.
To be fair, they give you plenty of ways. I guess it's not too unfair, because they do give you plenty of ways to offset that, whether it be barrier, invis, or double jump. Just got to think.
Mm-hmm. And you can effectively reg a chip at any time, and you can buy full cuts at this point. So, it's not totally unfair. But, I mean, still.
Yeah, I don't usually approve. Undodgeable attacks and like ever, so I thought that was worth mentioning. Can be annoying in the speedrun as well, naturally.
So
some time getting hit.
We've gone through.
Don't like need any more of it.
I mean, buying HP mems and stuff gets real expensive after a bit.
I mean, actually, yeah, they probably didn't Zero. They're really difficult boss.
Oh no, they're gonna miss it. Damn it.
They missed the most difficult and interesting boss in the game.
Oh, never mind. Just in time. Alright, they're good.
Okay, cool.
So, Zero is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he is just dumb.
But he looks sweet. I don't care what anyone says. I really like that model.
Yeah, I think he looks okay.
Essentially, Zero's gimmick is that when you attack him, he teleports behind you and
basically under.
Yeah, you can't dodge it. We don't know how to, which is why we have barriers.
Yeah.
We've been experimenting with strats to not let him essentially do it by like being really, because he only does it once he gets low health, unless he just decides to do it, because sometimes he'll just do it.
He's the weird boss.
Yeah.
And really unfair.
So, yeah.
picnic intensifies and have a picnic. Looks like.
This also is where the good and bad ending kicks in. The item that you picked up, or you could pick up way back like a while ago. I forget what it's like. I forget what it's called. Basically, that item, if you give it to your dad, because just like we don't know what this, might as well send it to our dad.
That's the source code.
Source code, yeah. So your dad figures out that it's just like, oh, it's a thing we can use to turn off the Zero virus in Zero, and then you can you can turn off this, you can disable the Zero virus without killing Zero. So if you have the item and you get to this point, it'll be like, oh, hey, we can save Zero, yay, happy sounds, and then this all happened. But if you don't have it, Proto Man and you kill Zero.
And if you need any more like proof that Sean is just a jerk, his response to finding out you don't have to kill Zero is that Lan is annoying. He's always annoyingly optimistic. I agree, he is, but you know, I guess Sean just really wanted to kill something. It's nice to do.
Your reward for getting the good ending at that point, you get Zero's Navi chip, which is not bad, but
it's a 300 damage sword.
Yeah. But again, you only get one use of it once, and bosses have iframes, so you only get 100 damage on bosses. So we killed Zero, and then the dude who yelled at us before is the professor who wasn't mentioned anywhere else. He is supposedly like Wily's right-hand man during the BN1. But now that Wily's gone, because you kicked the ever-living stuffing out of him in the first game, he took it upon himself to resurrect the life virus, essentially, which is what he was using the Zero virus for, was to gather data and funds and stuff in order to be able to reactivate the life virus.
Okay, so I'm gonna go set up for the next run, so I'll leave the rest of the commentary to Jazz.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
So you realize this and just like, oh, and then you figure out that, like, you reason out that the only place that the life virus could actually be like kept away from you without you finding it is in the Undernet. So you haul down to the Undernet to go kick his butt. But then there's like apparently the only way into the Undernet has a trap on it that boots you right to the Scilab, which is where Proto Man was hanging out. So you need to go find 2 pieces of a key data in order to remove the trap and allow you to go to the Undernet, which we entered the final branching path of it. So we've got 2 stages to go through. One of them's like the longest stage, and then one of them's the shortest. We're gonna start by going to the longest one, which you access via the net here. You have to go basically all the way to where Number Man was, and Jokaah's going to take a side trip where he's going to go pick up a bunch of HP mems, and then a bunch of MP ups, and then HP up, because a lot of double jumping is going to happen here. And then he's going to go left and head up into the second to last stage before the finale, which is a legendary WWW Area 1 for I've no actual idea why it's called that. So this is Pharaohman stage. It's really long. There's a lot of things that deal damage to you. Yeah. From here on out, the viruses start getting into their highest level forms, apart from the ghosts for some reason. Which is fine, because the ghosts also suck. Jokaah is in a bit of trouble here, with being at so low on HP, but it's not actually as bad as it seems. He's got a few recovered 30s, which are still fine at this point, because he doesn't have a whole lot of HP. And for this next part, we're going to use those barriers that we got a while ago to cheese this whole section. because there's a lot of high damage, high HP enemies. Except he got killed by a rat.
That was...
That
okay,
also
that was
means...
funny.
That means Jokaah was exactly 10 life, because those ratties do 10 damage, which is the lowest any...
Funny, though.
It's the lowest that any enemy can do is 10. So he's gonna just boost through some stampers and whatever those drill things are called.
Oh, I knew it. They're cool, actually. They're like from... They're from... Napalm Man stage from BN6.
I want to say they show up in other places too.
Probably.
Alright. So he got through that with the barriers pretty cleanly. He's just got a little bit more to go, and then he'll beat the boss.
And he's not gonna go because anywhere near Spike just scares the hell out of me because I know how risky he goes.
I'm not scared. Pharaohman has the highest HP of any boss outside of the final boss at 1,000, or I believe. He also...
Yeah.
So he has a ton of HP. So just like his stage, he has a ton of HP, he does a bunch of damage. Or just does nothing at all, that also works.
Yeah, he's usually pretty easy, but sometimes you can get very unlucky with him.
His attacks are basically, he either drops that Anubis statue, which does, you have to shoot 3 times in order to kill it. It's guaranteed to take 3 hits from anything. Alright, so some important folder setups that he's doing, Jokaah's doing here. I believe he's going for the strat. It looks like he's going for the strat. So he set up his folder to do a thing on the final stage that I'm really pleased that we're doing because it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
More fun than the actual way of doing it.
So this stage is effectively the Metro. There's a bit in BN1 where you take a hidden subway to go to the final area, and this is the same spot essentially. So we're looking for one of the pieces of the key here, and we get to do a really fun trick because Star Arrow, which you get right at the end, is essentially, just let it speak for itself.
Exactly like what you do in Mega Man 5 speedruns, except this one is a long stage.
Essentially, the stage is a bunch of sequences of Gutsman platforms from Mega Man 1, if you remember, the platforms that like trundle along and then when hit a bit they drop down. Star Arrow, which we get exactly one of right at the end of the game, because of course, it lets us skip about half the stage. Which is, it's really, really, really sweet when it goes off. And you save, I believe it saves like a minute. So the boss of the stage is Shadow Man, who hurts, but I believe Jokaah is gonna go for the cheese. Yep, he's going for the cheese. So you can just hit him if you're like really, really, really precise with your cannons. You can hit him like every time Shadow Man attacks, he jumps in the air, spawns 3 things. Only one of them is real. They drop down, and then he does some other attack. But when he jumps up in the air, if you're really precise with your cannons, you can hit him just before he drops down, and you'll just loop him in the thing. And he gets hurt. Pretty bad. You can actually pretty safely fight him with a buster, too. Which is what I normally do, because I'm not Jokaah. Right, so, now that we have both parts of the key data, we can go to the internet and finish off this game. which is this is where the folder shenanigans that Jokaah did just before. Safety save, because this could go wrong. So, I mentioned before, the program advances in this game were not good. Like, they're just not great. Except for 2, basically. We're gonna use one of them. And it's the most basic one in the game, which is you use 3 cannons, essentially, to get Zeta Cannon. What Jokaah did was essentially fill his folder full of chips he only has 1 of, so he can use them and then remove them from his folder, essentially. The goal is to draw 5 chips, or 5 specific chips here before he enters the final gauntlet. He's using fast gauges and full custs, so he can cycle through his folder really quickly. There is more hidden stuff in this stage. I'm taking damage. Yeah, he's got healing. Oh, Jokaah's just gonna boost through. What I usually do is I get it so that I get a barrier, and then I can just skip all this part, but you can also just boost through with HP.
This is an insanely damaging part of the game. Like, it doesn't mess around, it wants to kill you.
Fortunately, if you get through that part alive, this strategy makes the end part completely safe. So now he's gonna start digging through his folder for those chips he wants. Did not get it. So try again.
Tried pressing A. He's pressed it at least once.
Did not get it.
Blade. Come on.
Yep, that's it. Alright, so the chips he wanted was Cannon, High Cannon, and M Cannon, which gets you the Zeta Cannon PA, the Tree Bombs, and the Elect Blades. So, this last part is interesting. The Zeta Cannon gives you 8 seconds of invulnerability and infinite use of M Cannon, which is a chip that does 120 damage, and you get to use all this for free. So, you can just blender down the firewall here without even trying. Like, ordinarily you're supposed to, like, you have to kill the core, but those turrets are going to be doing stuff to you the whole time, and
also,
platform that's pushing you back.
Firewalls look like, by the way.
Yep. But what's unique about this end bit, it's essentially a bunch of sections split up by a small thing between. In between each part, your chip stocks are all refilled, which includes the chips you currently have equipped, which also means it refills your PAs that you have equipped. So, for this whole end part...
It's basically just like an easy mode boss, right?
Yeah. For this whole end part, we get use of 4 Tree Bombs, 3 Elect Blades, and the Zeta Cannon PA. Coupling that with that our Buster is good now. We can walk through the firewall there, boss rush here, and then the end bit. Me and Jokaah do something, like he has Elect Blades here, I go for Fire Blades, but you have to pick those up, or Fire Swords, you have to pick those up elsewhere though. But you take the Tree Bombs, because fighting Bright Man with Buster only is annoying. He takes Elect Blades because they blender Iceman here. I take Fire Blades because they kill Needleman really, really quickly. Yep, that's the loop that Fat Kid talked about before. I don't think there's a setup for it, but Quickman just does it sometimes.
Yeah, he just moves like that. He just kind of does it. I mean, yeah.
And then Color Man is made of quick work sentence words. Zeta Cannon's
Quick
good.
work
That's
is
the
made
important
of
thing.
elect-
Another difference, I fight Kellerman normally because I do the cheese strat I told you before about looping Electman here, but with Zeta Cannon it's 100% safe. It's also funny. But he has a tree bomb left over, which does double damage, so it also works out.
Booyah strat? Kinda. Well, not really. Not BN1. Not BN1. 0-1 are Booyah strats, because those are a little big.
So with the firewall down and the boss rush finished, we're headed towards the life virus itself.
This is where you find out Roll's a cheater.
Yeah. This is the part where it's like friendship, woo. You'll notice that Roll doesn't seem to be doing anything except bouncing around in place. What you don't see there is that Roll gives you, if you know the game series, she does full back on you and then refills your life to full. So she gives you back all your chips and then refills you to full life.
So Roll actually is the most helpful there, giving us.
Yeah. So now we're at the life virus itself. It has a shield that requires at least 100 power chip in order to break, and a bunch of life.
An important thing to remember is what we said earlier, is that Buster doesn't cause... Oh, is he already over? Buster doesn't cause iframe, so you can do that.
Yeah.
And this enemy is incredibly easy to kill, but his attacks will destroy you.
Yeah, touching his body, touching the guy himself does 300 damage, and each one of those orbs drops you to 1 life. Yes, I've jumped into this guy twice.
I have as well. I have many times.
And it's just as miserable feeling. I think it's also time.
GG time.
Yeah. So with the PA and all that, you can make a complete travesty out of the end part. It's really good because the whole end. If you try and fight that end part normally, especially Life Virus, it's pretty dangerous because
What's
Life
the,
Virus
final
hits
time?
hard. 10308.
No 308, not bad.
Yeah, that's real good actually. That beats my time. Damn it. I have no idea why he's got a disco ball. We call it a Wily machine, basically, because what it is. Really stupid Wily machine.
Yeah.
But there we go. That was network transmission. Good game. Should try it out.
I think it's very good.
All
Of course, the next game is better.